Some seasons are meant for blooming, some for expression, some for letting go. And then there's some seasons that are for planning, for building, like this one. This is the season of structure, the season of soil, bones, of foundations, the season of Set, and what most people know as Capricorn. In the Southern Hemisphere, we're now deep in midwinter, the heart of the cold, the silence, the stillness. On the surface, the earth looks barren. The trees are leafless, the crops have been harvested, the animals are quiet. It feels like nothing's happening. But beneath the soil, something profound is unfolding. This is the season of root work. Plants aren't growing upward, they're growing deeper. The roots are stretching silently, anchoring themselves into the earth, strengthening their hold so that when spring comes, they don't just grow, they thrive. And this same rhythm, as always, applies to us. This is our time to stop reaching outward and instead deepen inward. You may not be seeing big results now, but this isn't a failure. It's preparation. Just like the earth, your soul is crystallizing something beneath the surface. Ideas are settling into bones. Dreams are turning into structure. Desires are being distilled into strategy. This is naturally the time to build our inner root system, our routines, our structure, our mindset. Root work isn't seen until much later. But when spring returns, the ones who honored winter rise with the deepest roots. This time is ruled by the natural principles known in ancient Kemetic literature as Set. Set was never evil. That interpretation came much later, twisted by colonial and patriarchal retellings. In actual truth, Set represents the force that we all need when life becomes difficult. It's the strength that we draw on when life feels unstable, difficult. He was always depicted as the one who rules over the desert and the wilderness, environments where only the strong endure. But his strength isn't reckless, it's grounded, it's earned. And then in his higher aspect, right, he was depicted as the master of the material realm, teaching us through challenge, through resistance and effort. This energy is like spiritual weight training, where every difficulty that you face under this guidance makes you stronger. It's like the yang to the yin. It's the balance that we need. So instead of thinking of it like a destroyer, it's more a builder. He was depicted as a force that forges empires, creates boundaries, and brings order through discipline. And in Kemetic law, he ruled the southern lands while Heru or Horus ruled the north, not as enemies, but as complementary forces of power and clarity. Together, they remind us that every vision, which is represented by Heru, needs structure, which is represented by Set. And that real leadership means knowing when to rise and when to root. And then in Western astrology, this is the realm of Capricorn, the architect of time, the climber of mountains, the master of self. Remember, we're in Capricorn season here in the Southern Hemisphere, while the Northern Hemisphere experiences Cancer season. And many people think that the zodiac comes from the West, but the 12-sign system that we use today is basically a remix. It was born from the Babylonian sky maps, infused with Egyptian spiritual meaning, then colonized by the Greeks and spread by Rome. The Dendera is one of the clearest examples of how the West inherited, renamed, and repackaged ancient African cosmology. What we call Capricorn today holds the ancient spirit of Set, the Kemetic force of discipline, of survival, and strength through challenge. Long before the zodiac was named in Latin, Set already embodied the energy of Capricorn. The will to build in harsh conditions, the wisdom of endurance, and the power to walk alone with purpose. Set is the original archetype for Capricorn, not just in name, but in essence. And understanding that helps us to decolonize astrology. Remember, astrology was originally a timekeeping system. So decolonizing astrology allows us to decolonize how we track time. Capricorn is the cardinal earth sign of the zodiac, and earth as an element is about structure, it's about stability and form. But Capricorn isn't just any earth element, it's the initiator of form, the earth in motion. This is the sign that builds, that climbs, that doesn't just dream, it creates a framework for the dream to live inside. So seasonally speaking, Capricorn marks the beginning of the season, kicked off by the winter solstice. And every sign that kicks off the season, every cardinal sign, comes with leadership energy. But unlike Aries or Libra, which are also cardinals in their own elements of fire and air in their own seasons, Capricorn leads through example, through presence, through results and consistency. It's not about excitement, it's about execution. Because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of boundaries, of time. It teaches us that mastery takes time, and time demands structure. Saturn doesn't offer shortcuts, it offers character building, forged through discipline. And every zodiac sign holds archetypes that help us understand its role. And Capricorn's role is the architect, taking unseen ideas and giving them form, material form. In the physical body, Capricorn rules the bones, the joints, the knees, and the teeth, the whole framework that holds us upright. And just like the bones hold the body, Capricorn energy holds the vision. It reminds us that dreams are beautiful, but without structure, they collapse. The core themes of Capricorn are discipline, structure, responsibility, long-term planning, endurance, wisdom through experience, and the mastery of time. Understanding that what is built slowly often lasts the longest. Capricorn season doesn't just ask you what you want, it asks you, what are you willing to work for? What are you devoted to over the next 5 years or the next 10 years or even beyond your lifetime? Because this is the sign that thinks in legacy. Set energy, Capricorn energy, whatever you choose to call it, the common denominator is that it's an energy that doesn't teach through ease, it teaches through endurance, through the discipline it takes to become your future self. One of my favorite things to say about Capricorn, and the easiest way to kind of explain it, is that it's not the earth sign that brings you flowers, it's the earth sign that brings you stones and bricks. And that's partially because it's ruled by Saturn. And to know the influence of Saturn is to know that it is so strict and it just doesn't allow for ease. Its main principle is rooted in the philosophy that nothing meaningful is built without effort. Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun and is the 2nd largest in our solar system after Jupiter. It has these gorgeous rings made of dust and rock that orbit the planet in perfect formation. It's a gas giant with a solid core and it's protected by rings that act like boundaries. 1 year on Saturn takes 29 and a half Earth years, which is why your Saturn return at age 29 or 30 is such a huge life event. It marks the point where Saturn returns to where it was when you were born, bringing lessons of responsibility, maturity, and self-mastery. In astrology, Saturn represents time, boundaries, structure, discipline, and karma. And I know modern astrology does have a tendency to talk about Saturn like it's there to punish you or restrict you. It has been labeled the planet of restrictions and limitations, but it's really just there to refine you, because whether we like it or not, resistance builds strength. Pressure makes diamonds. So our ancestors are likened Saturn to Set energy because it's that same principle of guarding thresholds, testing your readiness. This is the season that brings the highest sense of pressure to get your life together, a sense of heaviness, fears rising to the surface. The season can really have you questioning your path, even doubting your pace. That's a very normal feeling in this time. You're not going crazy. The season doesn't demand perfection. It demands intention and integrity, a willingness to show up breath by breath and shape that future you that you're committed to becoming. This is the season, this is the energy that gifts us emotional maturity, emotional resilience, which then inevitably builds self-trust. Tap into that original Set energy, the divine force of challenge. It's not as much about what you want to manifest, but more so what you want to commit to. What structure are you laying today that your future self will call home, you know? Yeah, I think that's it from me on this topic, honestly. It's really just about knowing that you're not stuck. If you're feeling behind, know that you are building in this time. Like I said in the previous video, this is not a season for rushing, because this is not the time of bloom. We will have a chance to see in spring. We'll have our chance to prove ourselves. But for now, the focus is on strategy, on structure, on quiet alignment. The lesson that we're meant to take from Set energy in this time is how to anchor our dreams into the real world. So use this time to plan and prioritize. Write things down if you need to. Break your goals into steps. Organize your space. Clean your room, your apartment, your house. Clear your desk, your office. Clean your ndumba, your altar. Create a vision structure rather than a vision board. Focus more on systems and timelines, just to draw your energy more towards how you want to manifest it rather than what it is that you want to manifest. This will help you to actually work the vision, to budget your energy, budget your time, budget your resources, your money, everything little by little. If you're journaling, ask yourself questions like, what is the structure that I need in my life right now? What is it that I'm building with my energy day by day? What are the experiences that made me stronger than I realized? Yeah, I hope this is helpful. I hope it's been informative. And I hope that alignment finds you in this time. I'm wishing you all the best as you take the steps that you need to slow down, lay the foundation, and trust the long path, Please do like and share and subscribe and all of that good stuff.